Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. It is Monday, another great week for us to try to accomplish all of our goals, hopes, and aspirations in life. And I hope you guys are having a great week started off. If not, hopefully your week ends off great. I'm here with one of my favorite dogs, Max Million. And he's going to be here with me as I discuss a topic in regards to employees' goals versus business owner goals, because there's two different mindsets. That's not why not everybody's meant to be an employee, obviously, and that's why not everybody's meant to be a business owner. Mark Cuban said it the best. He was the worst employee on the freaking planet, but he's one of the best business owners out there in the world. So it's all about the mindset and what you're really good at and what you're not good at, because just imagine Mark Zuckerberg working for somebody right now. I can't, but that's just me. So even Max can't even feel that. But as you know, that's just the logic that we're looking by. But really, he's just like, why am I even up here? I don't even know I'm on camera. But anyways, because there are differences, especially what employees and business owners, what they strive for. Business owners, they're usually striving for what is the next best product that we can sell in order for us to make more money. Isn't that right, Maxie? And they're looking for the next market that consumers are heading towards. They're looking at the next area that they can tap into in order for them to increase their profit margins better than last year, better than last pay cycle, etc., and so forth. And employees are usually looking for, well, how can I first get the job? How can I get this right skill sets? How can I get promoted? Or a lot of times, especially with the millennial and cloud generation, you have people who are not even have no interest in climbing the corporate ladder, but they do have more of an interest in doing work that matters. Isn't that right, Maxie? They have a great interest in doing work that matters, so they feel like they want to know what the actual impact statements are on a day-to-day basis. Yes, they want to have to pay their bills. Yes, they want to have to pay the student loans off. Yes, they want to have to take care of their family. But the main and primary objective is, after all of that, which I just mentioned, is to make a contribution to the world. Now, that's whether you're joining a government, nonprofit organization, you're serving the military, you're serving your country. There's so many different levels, or you're just working for a for-profit corporation, but you're making some sort of an impact to help and change the world. So those are two different mindsets. Another great example, with a lot of employees nowadays, if they don't end up either having some sort of ownership in a company, big or small. So many jobs are getting automated on a regular basis, or so many jobs, if they're not being automated, then they're turning their jobs from full-time to part-time or just consulting. You're becoming a consultant or a contractor. Contracting and consulting is becoming a way of life. I mean, hey, look what happened to the taxi industry, and look what's happening to the hotel industry. But I don't think the hotel industry is going to go down as much as people think. My personal opinion is because a lot of hotels have stepped their game up. Not only have they made their hotels look better and increased their services, but they're trying to cut down on the prices. They're trying to make the hotel atmosphere a lot more appealing, so people that will want to stay there instead of Airbnb at somebody else's place. Me, I still prefer Airbnb, because when I visit someplace, I like to feel like I'm in the community. With a hotel, you really feel like you're a visitor. So, but that's just another personal preference. So the employee's mindset is especially nowadays, because the average lifespan of a lot of employees nowadays, obviously, could be as less as 1 year, 2 to 3 years, and if somebody's at a job for more than 5 years, a lot of times landlords, when they're trying to rent to people, they look at, or even the banks, and they look at people like, how come you keep switching jobs? And a lot of times it's just like you have the situations where employees are like, look, I got bored. I didn't feel, it wasn't even just about the money, or if it is about the money, hey, you want to get paid more. You feel like you're at a place where you're not going to attain the right skill sets, and you're just going to be a regular mundane employee that's not learning anything of value, so you can not really take your career to the next level, because that's, as an employee, that's what it is. If you're not learning anything of value that's going to be able to enhance your skill sets, one, and two, heighten your paycheck, then what's the point of you staying there? You're just paying bills. And that's the mindset of back in the day. That's not the mindset of today for employees. And obviously a lot of employees have side hustles, Ubers, Airbnb, Lyft, which I think is smart. And any other side hustle an employee can have is a great thing, because with that side hustle, if you do end up getting laid off, then you have some sort of a backup plan. And obviously, you keep your employees' mindset is keep their resumes out there on all the 50,000 websites that are out there posted, so they're continuously having a relationship with recruiters and HR departments, and which those departments are starting to shrink as well, and in some instances disappear at the same time. So, but the mindset of an employee is to do that so that they can take their career to the next level. Great example. Cousins of mine, they are actual medical surgeons, and they moved. They used to live here in Northern Virginia. They got their degrees, they did their residencies, and they came here to Northern Virginia to get a great amount of job experience, which they took. And they was able to make a great impact where they were working. And then once they left that specific medical corporation, they decided they wanted to move west or south. Well, and I knew there was places like it was between Texas, California, and Alaska, and they decided to think outside of the box, which I commend anybody that does that. And they decided to go to Anchorage, Alaska, and they have their own private medical practice up there. So they got out of college, they worked for somebody for 3 to 5 years, saved up enough money, planned it out, and then made the right move in the right time. And now they reside in Alaska, and not only are they business owners, they have their 2 to 3 kids. And then the great thing about living in Alaska is everybody gets an oil stipend. So I believe it's 4 of them, so they get $4,000 a month, plus they got their own business. Something to think about. Incentives, what is it really doing for you? So they went from having the employee mindset to the owner mindset, and now they have their own private medical practice. And to me, it's just, you can't be commended no more than that just for doing it, because they didn't even think they were going to end up trying to open up the private practice. It just became a goal after they became surgeons, and I guess they just got tired of the old-fashioned bureaucratic process, and they wanted to just, obviously stick to the national and local medical guidelines on how to do their practice, but they wanted to do things in their own way and set their own hours and have their own pace. And in a sense, their quality of life has improved significantly because they took that leap of faith and hope, and they went forward. And I implore everybody to do that. I'm doing that by moving to California, and I'm hoping everybody does that, because thinking outside of the box and doing different things and taking risk is the way of life. It's nothing new, obviously, but it is definitely the way of life right now, So let's get more to the business aspects of things, because we'll sort of do a compare and contrast when it comes to businesses. Yeah, Max, I know you're tired of me moving and waking you up, but hey, just go ahead and put your head down. There you go. All right. He's like, man, stop moving, fool. Anyways, so, businesses, obviously they develop first. They develop action plans and continuously focus on the bottom line so they can get a profit and then increase the profits. And then obviously after a business sustains itself, it makes more profits, looking for ways to improve themselves, vigorously takes on organizations, takes their organization to the next level. And then in some instances, if they get big enough, they end up buying other corporations at a nice price, in order for them to not only make more money, but to expand their market reach with other customers, because that's the whole goal. And they know they can do that if it's not just one corporation, one small business, one big business, but they know that they can continuously expand and develop partnerships. If not owning, then at least develop partnerships. And then a lot of times, if it's a small business, a lot of times you'll see small businesses doing the best to try to franchise their business. So in order for them to not even have to work, because obviously if you have a great example, you have a small family restaurant, and if you get to the point where you can your products are so great and your services are so great that you can franchise them, then eventually you get to the point where you don't have to worry about working anymore, because you set the price, say $35,000, $40,000 for a franchise. Somebody buys into it. You get to the point where you never have to work again if you do it right. So those are the upsides of having a business. And then obviously the tax write-offs, as I was talking about earlier, with my cousins being in Alaska. So they're getting the oil stipends in Alaska for being Alaskan state residents, 1. 2, they're getting a tax write-off for a business, which, like I said, no matter who's the president or runs the Congress, the rules are if you have a business, you usually end up getting the biggest tax cut of them all, because in a sense you're creating jobs. And then the beautiful thing is the way that the mindset of a business person is, when you get a tax write-off, it's not, let me go get that new Benz, let me go get this big house, let me go get this jewelry and all the other crap that people like to buy after they get a tax refund. No, they actually usually end up putting it into something that's going to, one, create a job, and two, make them more money. So it's a win-win on both sides, for the economy, for themselves, and for the rest of society, in a sense, if they decide to do that. Because obviously you have some corporations out there, not saying it's a bad thing, they will get the tax write-off, and they might create more jobs, but they'll create them in other countries. Hey, it's a global economy. It's nothing to complain about. It is what it is. So, but anyways, that's the mindset of that, because like the mindset of a worker, a lot of times, not all workers, because hey, I'm a worker. When I get a tax refund, I say I put it in investments. I don't put it in the bank. I don't put it in the crap that's going to make me look good. I'm good on that nonsense. I don't have time for it, because that's not adding any value to my life. And then another thing is, a lot of times when people get a tax refund, they'll go on vacation. So it's good for the economy, but it's not really good for their economy. So they end up going on vacation, escaping the life that they don't really particularly care for, and they end up buying frivolous nonsense that, because, obviously now we live in the instant gratification generation. We need it now. That's why the credit card debt is somewhat catching up to the student loan debt. It's crazy, because I understand the student loan debt. It's crazy as it is. I understand that people get the college degree, even though they end up getting a degree, and a lot of times they don't end up getting a job that's going to pay them anywhere near to the point where they can pay off those student loans. I get the concept there, but the credit card crisis still boggles my mind, and I got to do some more research on this, because it's just, the short of it is everybody wants to have stuff now. They don't want to wait. They don't believe in saving. I got to have it now. I got to have it now, and the interest rates from credit card companies, the banks are just doing the happy dance. They're doing the nay-nay, they're doing the Dougie, they're doing whatever freaking dance that's out there nowadays, because it's, they're like, hey, everybody's going on vacation, everybody's going out to the club, and guess what we're doing? We're taking the check to the bank, because we're getting that beautiful interest back, and they're loving every moment of it. So you don't have to have everything now. You can get everything with time. Instant gratification, it's not that serious unless it's in a sense in a business. I always say the best debt one can get is in a business, and not credit card debt. But if you put credit card debt into the business, then hey, you're expecting some sort of a return on your investment. But that's how I look at it, But that's because a lot of employees, they're just big on the materialistic mindset. But like I said, the caveat is, if they weren't really big on the materialistic mindset, it would be bad for the United States economy, because it's a consumer-based economy. So it's always that catch-22, because when it really boils down to it, the employee looks at making more money is either getting a tax refund, getting a second or a third job, and usually they're doing that either to survive or save up for something, which it could be for a house, which is fine, which could be for a better car so they can get them around even more. I always say, hey, if you get a better car, keep the old car, be an Uber and a Lyft driver on the side, so that way you can pay your car payment off and make some extra money all at the same time. And you get a tax benefit from being an Uber driver for gas and maintenance and every time you take a trip, because there's apps out there that actually do the tax paperwork for you. Do your own research, obviously, and figure out what works best for you. But there are incentives to have side hustles. That is another great example. So, and it's just, I like to throw all those examples out there, because it's like I said, when corporations get tax write-off, majority of them, whether big or small, they're thinking how they can put that money back into their business, how they can put it back into something that's going to make them more money. That's the idea of a business minded individuals. But the employees say, hey, I gotta get turned up, I gotta look good, and all this other crap. So that's the mindset of the employees. So that's my little spiel in regards to different mindsets of employees versus business people. And if you find yourself being on both sides of the track, then I commend you, because I think that it's great to have both mindsets. Because even if you are a business person and you have an employee mindset, then you can make the quality of life not only better for your employees, and if the quality of life is obviously better for your employees, then the products that you're putting out there, the services that you're putting out there, is going to make life that much better all at the same time. So if you guys like the video, please like and share the video. Please subscribe. Please inbox me or call me if you need any specific products off of Amazon. And thanks for listening. And I will see you guys later on this week, because I'll probably have my little rant like I always have. And nothing like a rant and a right, Maxie. That's right. So, guys, take it easy. And I'll see you next time.